All right, so next we're gonna start cutting. First thing I'm gonna do though, is I'm gonna make sure I'm using a brand new blade. So I'm gonna break this one off. Okay. You wrap this in tape when you throw it away so people don't cut themselves. So I use a little painter's tape here. Just tape around the blade, just as a courtesy to whoever may come in contact with it. Okay. So I'm going to extend my blade out quite a bit and take my ruler here, place it right on top, and make sure you've given this enough time to dry. I really didn't, but we'll see. So go ahead and start cutting, and when you cut, you're going to just keep going over the same spot. This is going to take quite a bit of time to do well. Okay. And these should be pretty well aligned to where you can cut multiples at a time. Stay in that same groove over and over again. And then I like to flip it over to see where it's not cut all the way through. Okay, so this corner here. Okay. All right, so set this aside. We'll work out this one. A little smaller first. And you can try an X-Acto knife too, see what you like better. I tend to like the box cutter because it has a little bit more weight to it. And I feel like the blade stays put. Piece 14-1. Discard any scraps as you're going, just to make sure you don't get things mixed up, especially if you have small pieces. And this part's going to take a bit of time, so I'm going to speed through it and come back closer to when I'm done. All right, so I'm using the assembly steps on my laptop to put this together now. So I'm going to use assembly steps and sticky glue or tacky glue and go ahead and put them together. So it's got me actually starting with these little thin strips. We'll see how that goes. All right, so I've got the first half done here, and basically it's falling apart a little bit, but it's okay. I'm gonna tape it too. I'm measuring the height, and I'm discovering that my thickness measurement was a little bit off. I'm about 1/4 of an inch too tall, so I'm actually gonna be about 1/2 an inch too big. So what I can do is I can take off maybe 2 from here, and that should bring me down to right at 3 inches. I'm gonna take 2 of these off, and that'll bring me down. Or if you haven't made your box yet, you can make it a little bigger. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and just tape all these together, make them nice and clean. So I'm just going to keep taping and try to get it as clean as I can. All right, so I've got it in my box. I had to do a little finagling because the sizes were a little off. You can see I've got an extra piece of cardboard in there. I've got all of my pieces glued. I've got them taped pretty good. And I had to remake my mold collar because it didn't quite fit, and now I've got one that fits nice and snug over it so I don't hold it together nicely. But my next step is actually to go ahead and hot glue the seams, starting at the bottom here. All right, so now we're ready to go ahead and pour the concrete. I've got my mold box with the collar on it. Everything has got a lot of hot glue, and I've just gone really goopy with it. I have a top lid, so I'm gonna fix up some of the tape that's coming apart, and then after that, we'll be ready to pour. So I'm gonna start mixing the concrete, and we'll pour it in, and voila. All right, so we're gonna mix in the tub, remove the concrete, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start mixing it in. I'm gonna put a little water at the bottom, and I'm not gonna follow the directions. I'm just gonna look for the right consistency here. Basically, it should be almost like pancake batter. And you gotta be quick, because you will run out of time stirring this. And be careful not to get any down the drain. Okay, now it's got to go. All right, so I put the top on it. I've got it setting on some cardboard. I didn't move very far from my sink. Now I can see my sink is filthy with concrete. I don't want any of that going down the drain. And you can see I did a pretty good job of keeping it away from the drain. I rinsed my hands off after I got them dirty with the concrete with the hose instead of putting it down the drain. So hopefully this will come out okay. It looks like I don't have any leaks, which is good. The center portion did come up, but I pushed it back down. Hopefully that'll stay down, and then we can go from there. Just dispose of the stick and dispose of the concrete, wipe out the drain properly, and you should be good to go.